Can you tell me if you can，谢老师，你可不可以告诉我，你可不可以听这个 video？OK，
我可以看到，但是没有声音。
嗯
老师好，
，OK，好，等一会儿。
嗯嗯
不能用。
哦，在这儿。
Obvious differences between
你
English
可不
and
可以
Chinese
听
is
见
how
吗？
they look, right? Instead of having an
可以
alphabet
可以听见了。
that sounds, Chinese. Hi there, I'm Kathy. Today I'm here with our Chinese expert Kai Tong. Hello there. Hello. Today let's talk about pinyin. So far, Kai Tong and I have talked about many Chinese characters. When making the videos, we would learn the pronunciation, the original object the character came from, the step-by-step evolution, etc. This picture of the step-by-step evolution of some iconic characters of Chinese. Here are some of our videos. Today, let's focus on the pronunciation and discover some interesting differences between Chinese and many other languages. What is pinyin? This is a road sign. You'll recognize that there are many Chinese characters here. Wait, there are letters here as well. What are they? One of the most obvious differences between English and Chinese is how they look, right? Instead of having an alphabet and using letters to represent sounds, Chinese uses characters that represent entire words. I like you means 我喜欢你. Yeah, you'll see that 我 stands for I, 欢 stands for like, and 你 stands for you. 好 means good.
Hi everyone.
大家好，
Hi everyone.
Hi.
Go ahead, Mel, say hi.
Hi，
Hi.
Hi everyone. Welcome to the Heritage
欢迎
Language
大
Learning
家来到与你相伴项目启动仪式。我的名字是 Summer， 非常高兴参加启动仪式。
Learning Foundation.
我也是这个团队的一员。
Sorry，等一下，我录制一下，然后你再正式开始啊。
Okay, sounds good. And if everybody could please mute themselves for now.
大家可以先静一下音。
Awesome. So hi everybody, my name is Summer.
大家好，我的名字是 Summer Song， 我来自加利福尼亚州，我是一名高中生，我是与你相伴项目的一员，我也是 JYP 的志愿者。首先，我要欢迎大家来参加今天的启动仪式。在社交媒体上，我也有关于这个启动仪式的信息，大家可以去查看一下。 我给大家说一些注意的事项。如果大家有任何问题的话，大家可以把这些问题提问在聊天室里。我们的老师呢会回答大家的问题。第二，我们今天也提供传译服务。这是 Zoom 的一项功能。 所以呢，我要感谢一下我们今天的所有的议员。现在呢，由传译员来介绍一下自己，并且介绍一下这个应该如何使用。好的。 我给大家解释一下如何使用这个服务。大家可以看到下面有一个地球形式的一个标志，它就是传译。大家可以看到2个频道，你可以选择
屏幕下方会有一个像地球一样的图标，这个就代表的是传译功能。然后您点开选择希望听的语言就可以。Okay, back to you, Summer.
Great, thank you very much.
谢谢
If you
您。
have any questions about how to,
如果大家还有问题，不知道如何使用传译服务，大家可以提问，在聊天室里提问。
if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the chat.
如果大家有任何问题要在聊天室里问，
We're going to move on to our agenda, just quickly going over,
我们来看一下今天的议题。
We're first going to have an introduction.
首先，我们会介绍一下今天的主办方，然后介绍一下与你相伴项目，然后讨论一下如何安装和使用比邻中文，然后我们会讨论一下我们对学员家庭学习准备的建议，然后会答疑，然后我们会教你如何使用教师平台，然后我们会跟我们的小老师和语伴做上岗培训，并且跟大家答疑。我来快速说一下 JYP。JYP 是那个非营利性组织，它是建立于2020年，是由一群志愿者，他们对慈善事业和教育非常有热情。我们是想帮助青年人将他们的激情和他们的想法转变成实际的慈善项目，并且给他们指导。我们认为每一个青年人都可以通过参与，让世界变得更美好，同时呢，也帮他们成为很好的领袖，并且找到他们人生的目标。然后我来说一下中美慈爱基金会，它是另一个非营利性慈善组织，它是在美国建立，它是为了致力于为收养中国残疾孤儿和亲的美国家庭提供在财务困难的时候提供资助。大家呢也能看到这个官方网站，大家可以点击查看。然后是新东方比邻中文，这也是我们的主办方之一。比邻中文它是一个教育平台，主要专注为3到15岁的海外华裔青少儿提升中文语言素养，并且理解中国的文化。它搭建了完整的课程体系，可以培养学生的口语表达、阅读理解、写作、听力等等。这样的话，可以提供海外青年人的中文素养，并且了解中文的文化。然后我来介绍一下我们的核心领导团队。我们的团队由20位领导人组成，他们来自这3个组织，还有很多其他的一些核心团队。我不会每个人都介绍，但是我知道他们来自中国、美国、加拿大等，他们每一个人都致力于花他们的时间，而且他们对这个项目非常的有激情，他想要把这个项目做到最好。他们确实非常的关心，能够帮助每一个人。我们非常高兴能够作为志愿者，我相信大家都是这样想的。在我们的领导团队中有有 Tracy， 现在呢我有请 Tracy， 然后来介绍一下与你相伴公益项目。Tracy， 下面有请 Tracy。你能帮我翻一下这个 PPT 吗？好的，没问题。我是 Tracy， 我是有思公益的一位创始人之一。我现在呢来简约的介绍一下 我们的与你相伴公益项目。有思公益携手中美慈爱基金会、新东方、比邻中文，我们发起了这个与你相伴公益项目。这个项目将会招募一些中英文良好且热心公益的青少年义工老师作为中文语伴，帮助被美国家庭收养的中国孩子，帮助他们学习中文和了解中国的文化。这些项目呢，也将助力这些有特殊身份和经历的孩子，未来成为中美文化交流的友好使者。下一张。大家可以看到，这里有一张图片，这是一个美国的家庭，他们是被收养的儿童，还有他的家庭，他们坐在一个电脑前来学习英文。这个图片呢，这个场景也是我们之后将会看到的。下一张。几个月前呢，我们开始招募我们的青年小义工老师，他们的中英文都非常的棒。让我们惊讶的是，有这么多年轻的学生申请加入我们的志愿者项目。我们接受了250人，还有更多的人想要加入我们。这些志愿者呢，他们的质量非常高，他们的中文和英文都非常的棒，而且他们非常有激情，而且他们非常的有爱心，他们可以使用现代技术，他们做了很多的教学录像，做的也是非常棒的。我们就立即进行组织，然后呢，我们有13位来自中国、美国、加拿大的成员，他们是教授、对外汉语老师、语言专业大学生，或者是资深公益组成的面试团队。我们对每一个孩子都进行了面试，并且选拔了150名优秀的学生。我们与比邻中文合作，花了1个月的时间来培训这些志愿者。这些志愿者他们需要上课、做作业，然后需要试讲，需要做教学视频，然后最后有80名志愿者被选拔出来。我想要祝贺大家，你们成功了。我确信你们将继续将这种精神带入到你未来的教学工作当中。最后呢，我希望每一个学生都能每天中文变得更好，让我们的中文学习成为一种爱好，并且呢，坚持学习。希望我们的小义工和这些收养的孩子成为最好的朋友。谢谢。谢谢 Tracy， 你的介绍非常的精彩，非常感谢。现在呢，我们来看一下我们如何安装使用比邻中文软件。现在呢，我有请这个呢是针对于我们的学生的。
Yes. OK， 我可以听到。Yes, I can.
Great, amazing.
OK， 大家好，我是来自新东方比邻中文的严哲老师。
Hi everyone, I'm Yan Zhe from the Bilingual of the New Oriental.
非常开心今天能够有机会在这里给大家去分享关于我们的学员去如何使用我们的平台，然后去帮助到我们的孩子们有一个平台去使用，并且开始我们的学习。接下来的话呢，我来给大家介绍一下我们整体的一个内容。OK， 那首先的话，我们的平台的话可以分为几个端口，就是我们的移动端以及我们的电脑端。移动端的话，就是我们比如说我们的手机或者是我们的平板电脑是可以使用的。然后辛苦帮忙翻一下页。OK， 这个是我们的上课的软件，叫新东方比邻中文。然后分我们的移动端和我们的电脑端都可以去进行上课以及查看我们的回放。移动端的话呢，可以通过扫描我们屏幕上方的二维码，后期的话可以把这个指南给到我们的老师们，可以直接给我们的学员去进行使用。然后扫描屏幕上方的二维码，它会跳转到我们的 App Store 里面去进行这样一个下载。另外的话呢，就是我们的电脑上的话，可以通过我们这个PPT 上的这样一个网址去进行这样一个下载。介绍完之后的话，简单的介绍一下使用我们的这个软件的一些推荐的设备。辛苦翻一下 ，OK。整体上的话，就是支持我们的电脑端的。
Of course, we highly recommend that we use the latest version of computers, either Windows or Apple computers.
然后就是我们的苹果的设备以及我们的安卓的一些设备等等，基本上整体上就是不要使用比较老旧的一些设备。
Of course, we don't recommend you to use some very old devices or devices that haven't been updated to the latest version. Of course, these computers must be equipped with video cameras or microphones so that you can use these functions of the bilingual very smoothly and very well.
OK， 就是移动端的话，就是我们的手机和平板电脑。
On your phones or on your iPads, when you log in, you can choose language on the login page. On the right top side of your device, you can switch Chinese to English or vice versa. You can log in with your phone numbers. Of course, you need to type in your area code, such as 01 in the US, followed by your phone numbers. And the last 8-digit numbers of your phone numbers will be the password. And you need to tick the agreement on privacy at the bottom of the page. And username of your kids can be changed after login. 在我们的这个上课软件的最下面一排的最后一个按钮叫我的这样一个按钮里面点过去之后，点击我们上方的这样一个头像的位置，点击头像 Click your avatar, 然后右边的这样一个页面，然后我们可以 through which you can change your name. You can type in the Chinese name or the English name. Then when having classes, the children teachers can know your names, English and Chinese names of your kids, and have better interactions with them. Then I'll tell you how to start your lessons. The lessons are pre-scheduled, and each time 10 minutes beforehand the class, you can click the button of study or and enter to the class will pop up on the screen every time 10 minutes beforehand each class. And this enter will become purple.
Also, on the page of my schedule, you can check the arrangement or the curriculum schedule so that you can see when each class will take place, on which day. Then you can enter the classes each time the class begins. Then I'll tell you how to watch recorded lessons. Because sometimes parents want to see how well their children perform on classes, or sometimes they want to review the taught lessons. In the same page of my schedule, click My Curriculum and check the data of taught lessons. And if you can see the logo, if you can see the icon of camera, then here click it and you can review the lesson recording. 2 hours after each class, within 2 hours, we can review the lesson recording. And you don't need to worry about the leakage of these recorded lessons. Then let's come to the use of platform on your computers. First of all, you can see the interface of logging on computers. Unlike using the platform on your phones, you don't need to type in area code on computers, just type in your phone number and your password. Then you can log in. But if the classes are not scheduled for your children, then you can't log in on your computers. You can only log in on computer when the classes are all well scheduled. You can check here to start the automatic login process in case that your children don't remember his or her password. Of course, and this automatic login function is not always available. And this function is only available within a short period of time. If you haven't logged in for a long time, then you need to retype in your password. And you can also check the normal functions of your microphones and cameras before you log in. Of course, you can just follow the instructions step by step. How to change your name on computers? There's only one page or one interface on the computers. Click the baby and you can change the name. I don't know if everyone can see the slides I'm sharing now. Can everybody see the slides?
We can see the slides.
Yes, we can. Do everybody see the same slide? And the slide which is being shown now is about taking lessons on computer. So do anybody see the same slide? Okay, I'll later share with everybody our official website.
我现在看到的是操作平台上面电脑端去上课等等这些操作的一些流程。
对，这个是没有问题的。现在的话，正常我这边看到的也是电脑端如何去上课，然后其他人那边是否是这样的？
老师，那个现在听的不是很清楚了，是不是可以把麦克风拿得近一些？谢谢。
OK， 好的。OK， 现在正常了是吧？那我们继续。上课的话，可以通过我们的手机或者是平板电脑都可以。
有几个人在等着进会议，你把它给开放一下还是怎么样？我刚才给你聊天发语音了，发信息了。
And there are some adjustments to the meeting we are having now, so please wait.
我们需要等一下孩子们是吧？
And some children are on their way to this meeting, so we can wait for a little, wait for some moments.
那如果我这边可以开始之后，辛苦同步，然后我这边会继续。小老师上课的设备的话，稍后会由我们的范老师来给大家介绍哈。
Teacher Fan will tell us how our volunteer children can use these platforms to give lessons.
严老师，我们是不是现在要等一下？
我不知道是不是要等一下其他的小朋友，我这边可以继续开始。
好。
Sherry 在吗 ？Sherry 在吗？现在好像有几个同学在群里发信息说他们要进来开会，但进来不了。
不对的，那个是他们用了错误的那个 Zoom 信息，那是之前的 Zoom 信息。现在的这个 Zoom 是没有等候的，所以他们
现在咱们用的就是那个，咱们现在用的是那个最后那张做成了一个 poster 的那个里面的是吗？
对 ，poster 上面没有等候信息。
OK， 我把那个发到群里去。OK， 好的。
好，拜拜。
Okay, I think we can keep going.
好多人在问，至少有5、6个了。
好的，那我这边。
Okay, some kids haven't entered this room meeting, but we will move on.
OK。那接下来介绍我们的电脑端怎么去上课，然后电脑端的。
Okay, let's continue with taking lessons on computers. As I said, it's easy. You can just check the schedule on the interface of the computer device. The same to the phones. Log into the classroom 10 minutes earlier with countdown on your screen. Of course, recording is also available on computers. Just click the date on which the class was taught, and then you can find the recorded lessons.
OK， 那以上的话就是我们整个上课软件的一些介绍。那接下来的话
Here's what I want to share about how to use platforms, and now I will share with you some tips. Of course, ensure that your room is brightly lighted so that teachers can see your children. And your camera should be properly placed so that we can see the facial expressions of your children. Log into the classroom 5 to 10 minutes early in case there are some emergencies that need to be handled beforehand, such as the computer is frozen or glitchy. Then we can restart Blingo or computer.
让我们的像是如果需要连 WiFi 的话呢，辛苦我们
I don't recommend everyone just to use wireless Wi-Fi.
在上课的话，尽量距离我们的这个网络信号源。
If you have to use Wi-Fi, please make sure that just don't stay too much away from the Wi-Fi devices in case that your internet is disrupted.
我们简单的一个上课的一个提醒，如果说我们有微信的这样一个情况下的话，可以扫描我们屏幕上方的二维码进行一个关
You
注。
can scan the QR to follow, and there is a learning center. You can log in, and then you will be reminded. If you don't have a WeChat, it doesn't matter. You don't have to worry, and our courseware will send reminders to you. And we also the iPhone is also linked to our calendar. Then it will send you notifications. And that's all for my that's all for my introduction. Thank you.
Thank you so much to Yan Laoshi for explaining that. Thank you so much for being here and for taking your time to be here.
谢谢大家也能参加这次启动仪式。谢谢杨老师的这个具体的讲解。现在呢，我来讲一下学员家庭需要做的学习准备。对于学生来说，一定要确保准时的下载比邻中文，然后跟你的老师沟通，然后一定要参加每一节课，并且呢要准时参加。然后呢，可以10分钟进入课室，进入教室。然后呢，一定要按时完成作业。然后有问题的话可以问老师，然后要尊重老师。希望大家能做到这一些，然后大家可以得到最好的学习体验。对于家庭来说，一定要全力支持学生，然后一定要鼓励他们参加每一节课，并且上课的时候一定要有安静的环境。这样的话就不会有一些可以分散他们注意力的东西。然后呢，一定要做好课程的规划，时间上的规划。然后如果说学生生病了，或者是有什么紧急情况，一定要先联系你的指导老师。如果有任何的问题、建议或者是担忧，你可以联系我们，你可以用电子邮件呀、Facebook 等联系我们。所以如果你有任何问题的话，你可以直接跟我们进行沟通。这些是我们的一个志愿团队成员，大家可以看到很多的名字。大家可以给我们发短信或者是发邮件，可以提问问题。我个人呢有 Facebook 和 Instagram，还有一些社交媒体。所以我会经常的查看这些，所以我会及时的给大家回答大家的问题，所以大家不要害羞，一定要有问题的话一定要问。现在是我们的社交媒体网页，希望大家现在能够拿出手机，然后扫描这些二维码，然后可以关注我们。一定要加入我们的微信群，因为我们会在微信群里发布很多的信息，还有很多更新的信息，还有这个邮箱。如果大家想的话，可以直接拍个照片。所以呢，大家可以通过上面的各种方式来与我们保持联系。如果有，就是接下来呢，我们会说一下老师端的使用。然后呢，如果大家有事的话，可以暂时离开。如果你还想继续的话，你也可以继续参加这个启动仪式。谢谢大家。非常欢迎大家，非常感谢大家来参加这次会议。然后呢，现在我们要说一下如何 安装教师端、教师平台。下面呢，我邀请范老师来讲解。
好，大家好，可以听到我的声音吗？可以听到我的声音吗？
可以。
OK 啊，好的，好的，好，各位小老师，大家好啊，我是咱们比邻中文的这个培训师，我叫范明玉。那今天呢，会由我来给大家介绍一下咱们教师端的这个平台的注册以及这个操作相关的一些事宜啊。那今天呢，主要我们来介绍2个平台，这个是我们在之后上课的时候需要用到的。
Use 2 platforms. The first one is CT platform. So this we need to use this platform for registration. You can see the link here, and later I will share the link with you. After you log in, you can see a registration page. You can click on the registration button. After the registration, you will receive a Roombox account number. So how do you register? And here you can see the registration page. You need to fill in many information, but you don't have to worry. You just have to make sure your name, your nick, and your phone numbers. You need to make sure this information is right. And also your nickname and your email. So you need to make sure these 4 items are correct. And then you can say school and your degrees. I know that many of the teachers are in high school or university. Maybe you don't have a degree. So you can just send a picture. It's okay. But you have to do this because only you do this, you can this can be submitted. So for the introduction, if you want your students to know more about you, you can introduce yourself. So are there any format requirements for the picture? There is no requirement for the picture. And then later on, I will introduce the functionality that you need to submit a video. So there is a video requirement for that. So, but for this picture on this page, there are no requirements for that. So after you fill in this information, that means you can submit it, and then the registration is successful. And after the registration, you can receive a Roombox passwords, and the passwords are the same as that of a CT platform. And then I'm going to introduce the Roombox platform. So there are the website, and you can download the platform. So for the teachers, you can only use the computer. You cannot use iPad or other smart devices. You can only use computer. You can download the Bilingual Classroom on the computer. And then we can go to the login page. There are 2 ways to download. First is a link, or you can search Bilingual on the page. Then you can enter the official website, and you can find the Roombox download. So we only support Windows XP or above devices, so you need to check your devices first. After the download, then you can log in. Please use your account number and passwords. So the account number is your phone number when you register. And the passwords are the passwords when you register for Roombox. But if you want to modify your passwords, you can click the Forget Passwords button, and then you can change your passwords. But here you need to be aware that if you modify your passwords, and the passwords for the City platform will be changed also. So you need to know this. After the login, let's see the page after you log in. Here you can see on the left, there is a schedule like a calendar. So you can see the classes for this month. You can click a date. Then you can see the information on the right. You can see the detailed information about the classes. And then you click on Enter Classroom. So you click on this button, and then you can enter the classroom. But before you enter classroom, you need to check your device. As you can see on the left bottom corner, you can see a setting button. This is for checking the devices. You check your cameras or microphone, or even the internet speed. So and let's see the page after you enter the classroom. Here you can see on the left of the screen and at the bottom, there are many buttons, and I will introduce the buttons one by one. First, let's see the buttons on the left. So the first one at the bottom is for the PPT. So when you click on the button, you can display your PPT. And you can see on the right-left corner, there is a black button. If you click on this button, there is some notes. So if you forget how to proceed the class, you can click on that button, and there are tips for your class. So you can proceed with your class smoothly. If we want to skip the certain pages, here you can see there are the page number. So if you want to use page 10, you can just find page 10.
The PPT will switch from page 1 to 10.
这个是我们的这个大纲的功能。那接下来我们来看一下大纲下方的这个，麻烦老师翻一下页。好，那在大纲下方您点进去之后呢，大家是可以找到教室里面的所有教材，比如说这节课有哪些需要用到的音频啊、视频啊，在这里也是可以找到的。在这里要提示一下各位小老师，我们在备课的时候呢，可以在这个里找到我们的这个教案哈，里面都是有教案的。点击进去可以提前的去看节课的一个课程设置以及我们的教学重点，这样子是可以帮助我们个性的去备课。那我们在上课的时候呢，小老师点进去会发现
While having class, you will find different versions of your slides. Make sure that
take a careful look and see the right circle, which represents a reactive slide. You must choose this type of interactive slide or the animated version of slides, because such will contain the videos and some interactive games necessary for this class. So don't use the slides because you can't play the video or you can't have games your students on other slides. So here is what I want to share about where you can find the videos and other teaching materials. Next, let's come to how you can make some how you can platform on its main page. Here are two buttons. The first button is about interaction and questions or a small box of questions will pop up on the screen. Click this button. And you can raise questions towards yours, and you can also give them stars, which are points or rewards on the form. If you want to set multiple choices and the correct answer is C, and you can see how many children, the detailed number of children who choose C, and give them stars if they choose C. And once you click this button, the students on the other side of this group see the box of questions popping up on their screens. And another button is about other ways of interaction.
然后右边有一个这个骰子哈，那这个骰子呢也是可以这个，如果你给了他很多的信息，超过了这个骰子，我们也是。
有意思，请其他同学。
I would like to say, 记忆系统以外，我们还有一个常识性。是记忆系统呢非常有趣。首先，它保存。
I think a good video or something.
No, that's okay. You can keep going.
好的，好的。
No problem.
好。好，那我来继续说哈，就是这个骰子。
Okay, let's move on.
之后会发现，哎，有一个骰子在屏幕上面转哈，然后它会停到一个数字。那比如说我们课的时候
，When any number appears on the screen, for example, if the teacher wants the children to read the textbooks one by one or turns, then and all the students can do some games on these platforms, and in these games, they can have some tasks, reading in turns or reading textbooks in turns. Here on the left side of the page, you can zoom in or zoom out your slides. Because some children are using phones or iPads to have classes, so maybe don't see the slides very clearly, then our children teachers can zoom in on the slides so that students can see the slides more clearly. Option is only available to the teacher side platform. On the bottom page or on this slide, there are other functions that are very useful to our teacher. From left to right, the first is the marker pane. If we want to lead the student to a specific place on a slide, we can use the marker pane. For example, if you want to point to somewhere using your mouse, then you can't see that. So please use the mark pane. And there, the second button is painting pane. You can paint anything or draw anything on the slide. The third button is color. switching colors to typing or to draw something. T, the fourth button, typing. For example, if the teacher wants to add something, then he or she can add this content on the slides by clicking on the T button. The fifth, shape. On the screenshot, you can see that by clicking on this, you can draw circles or vertices or other shapes. Just draw anything as demanded. The sixth, eraser. And by clicking on it, you can get rid of all the things you write or just at one go. So you don't need to remove some content little by little. So this button is more functional than this same type that you are using on other platforms. The next button is about adding a new page, a new blank page. For example, students are invited to draw something or write something, but there is no other space on the current slide, then you can just add a new blank page. I'll explain this further. By adding this, but by adding a blank page, we blank page with purple background. But if you don't like this color, or if you worry about that students don't like this color or they can't see the fonts clearly with purple background, then besides the button of zoom in or zoom out, you will find a new button through which you can change the background color from purple to white. But if this page is added accidentally and we want to delete this blank page, then just find this blank page on the outline and delete it, clicking the mouse. Next, choose it. Maybe we don't use these very often, but what it's all about. But if there is a shape left and we want to move this to the right, then click the choose and edit button. And then you can draw something, you just draw from left to right. The next is also about deleting. The next button is about deletion. You can also delete the content on this and the very page we are learning. While preparing for classes, the something you left on the slides won't disappear automatically after you log out. So if you have any classes next time, you can use deletion button to erase all traces before you log out. The final button is about a step forward, step back and a step forward. You switch back to the form or switch to the next page. It's very easy to understand. Of course, you can switch to any page of it by typing the page number.
this is before I need the thing. 对，好，这个，谢谢。好的，那我们接下来来看一下哈，就是刚刚我们说的这个互动课里面有一些这个互动游戏。
I just talked about interactive slides, and there are in these slides how we can play these games. We come to interactive games. By the way, there is more than one game. There are other games about fishing or trains. On the right side of this page, click the authorization button so that students can play the games on their devices. But if the teacher is using the marker pen, he or she can't click the authorization button. Then you will find a new icon, which is just like a game operator. Click this button, clicks the authorization button. Then students were authorized to play the games on their devices. There are other some functions. Outside, at the bottom of the right, the first button is about controlling the cameras of students. You can unmute or mute your students. So if students haven't themselves and you can't hear them, you can click this button to unmute your students. You don't hear them after clicking this button either. We move the mouse on top of your students. Then a black box will appear right above the student's avatar. And here you can see about microphone. And please make sure this microphone is clicked. Let's go back to the right picture. The second button is about letting students use using pens to paint or to draw anything on the slides.
然后点击完后呢，就是给学生那边发了小画笔，然后学生就可以在这个
With this authorization button of painting pen, students can draw anything or type in classrooms, in virtual classrooms. Here, still in this picture, the third button is giving stars to children students, which also a rewarding mechanism of this platform. If students want to encourage or to give some rewards to students, then you can give a star to students. The last button is chat box. Type in anything you want to see, you want to say, and also you can do screenshotting by clicking this chat button. Here are tips about how to use Roombox. So if you have any further questions, you can leave messages in and answer these questions later. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for speaking. Thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate your time. And yeah, just thank you for that. Again, very detailed, very thorough explanation. So thank you. So next, we're going to move on to our GYP Young Teacher and Language Companion Training.
好，大家好，今天的信息量很大哈，但是我要
Hello, everyone.
感觉是最没趣儿的一部分了哈。
So today I'm going to talk about
希望呢，我的讲解
companion training.
大家在正式上课前做好准备，
So my presentation is aimed to prepare you for the teaching. First, I'd like to thank young teachers and the language companions. You are all brave. And previously, we've done 3 trainings. We left you some homework, and for the last time, the homework was difficult because you didn't teach Chinese lessons before. So the homework difficult for you. But I think the results are great. And many teacher companions, they produced some PPT and videos. And see from that the teachers and companions have searched many materials and read many materials. And I think that shows them and the courage. But before you start your teaching job, I want to remind you some important information that may help you. So there are 3 things you need to know. First, you need to keep to your commitment to teach. So we must schedule a time for our service, so we cannot give up in the middle of the teaching. So now we think about how to manage your time, coordinate your schoolwork and your teaching job. And then we need to know that, so your students may be old, so you need to be patient when you communicate with them. Even sometimes you need to communicate with their parents about performance. This is a challenge, but if you do this, I think you will become better and stronger. This will be an experience for you. So, the second one is that the second thing is that you need to learn bilingual knowledge to ensure teaching quality. Know that our teachers and companions are very good at Chinese and English. But while you're teaching, there may be this. So I mentioned this in the last session of training. Today, I want to stress that when you prepare for the class, you find that something is difficult for you, and you need to search the materials to make sure you get the correct answer and the correct materials. And while teaching, you need to use simple words to explain some difficult concepts. And this is a skill that can be trained. If you're doing this, you will find that your bilingual skills will be improved significantly. The third thing is that you need to attend the training to improve your teaching skills. So how about the frequency? It's about once a month. So the teachers will notify you in advance. And we already have a WeChat group. So if you have questions or difficulties, you can ask in the group, and the teachers will help you. For some difficulties, and we will help you with that during the regular training. And also during the training, you can exchange your ideas. You can share your advice. And if you share it with other teachers, so all the teachers can be improved. So the specific requirement, first, you need to be well prepared for your lesson. So you need to be ready for your lessons. You have to make sure the quality of your class. So it uses some random materials or the materials that you're interested in, but that is not included in your materials that you prepared, not teach the class well. So you need to be well prepared in the materials you use. The second one is that you need to set up your teaching targets. And first, you need to write with the teaching platform and your teaching content. So you need to know whether you need to adjust the teaching order or program. If you were at the training of the how to use Blingo, with the Blingo, you can change order of the PPT. So when you prepare for the class, change the order of the PPT according to the situation of the student. So be sure to familiarize with the platform. And then you need to know whether you need to use some teaching tools. So you need all those tools ready on the platform. And then the teaching targets and the role of teaching difficulties. So we have Blingo, but you still need to think about how to achieve targeting your teaching targets. You've learned some methods, but in addition to these methods, you can also do other methods to keep the students interested in the class. So when you watch our videos, you think, oh, this method is very good. I can use this method in my own class. Or you can learn from other teachers. So when I was young, I was a teacher. I often learned from other teachers. So you need to know how to learn from other people's strength. And then the last one is check the students' homework, correct their mistakes, and communicate with them to make sure that they really learned what you have taught. And later on, I will talk about how to communicate with. And then a very important thing is that if you need to ask for leave, then you need to talk with your students' families. You can use email. You send an email and tell them how with this emergency. So you need to make sure that you can reschedule the class and give them the date of the class. And you can also talk to the teachers. So in case that don't receive your notifications, then the teachers can help you tell them.
Next page, please. 好，具体要求的第二一个要点。
And the second requirement is the teaching duration as hour a week. How do we allocate the time?
好像这个 slide 有点问题哈。
There may be something wrong with this slide.
I believe someone named Hope is doing Mark. That might be an accident, but
Okay, it's okay.
Yeah, let's try to minimize that.
Okay, it's okay, never mind. Okay, 好，我们继续哈。那这个1个小时这样分配的，比邻
So
中
for this 1 hour, there is a 5 minutes class on bilingual. So on this, we can set up a stage target. For example, the students is at grade 3. Requirement is to know manners, a certain number of characters for the students. So you can change the progress according to the situation of the students. If the students are really good, you can teach more. Or you can have some challenging homework. For those who are not that good, so you need to slow down and help them review the things they've learned. For review, you can add more materials. But this should be dependent on the situation of the students. Some of the teachers and the companions ask us that the social media that we use are different in China and other countries. So there may be some difficulties here. So my suggestion that we should communicate with each other through the bilingual. So if you want to give more materials and produce a short video or do some PPT, you can insert video or audio into the material. So if you want the student to read the characters, then you can write the characters on the PPT, and then you produce an audio to help them, and then send the PPT and audio through email. So this can help the students to, and then we don't have to worry about the communicating platform.
Thank you. 还有一个就是关于作业哈，作业呢。
And then about homework, so you need to check the homework and give your feedback in time. If your students submit their homework, you need to check their homework and write some comments, and that will encourage them to learn more and to talk with the teachers. If you have any questions, please ask the teachers in the teaching group, and we will help you ASAP.
Next page, please. 好，
Thirdly, we have to have very good and sound communication with the families of our students. First, we can contact their emails, apps. Of course, if students in North America, we can exchange phone numbers. In this way, we can have better communications between teachers and students. We can give students questions on a regular basis to understand where they are now. Let's explain to ask your students a few questions so that you can know what they're thinking. For example, a teacher teaches some Chinese characters in a certain way. How can learn? If a game is adopted in classrooms, is this game safe for you? Questions just like this. And with such questionnaires, the teaching methods can also be improved. Of course, we can provide our students, especially those older students who know some Chinese, with some extracurricular support resources. For example, recommend them to watch some Chinese TV series, some animated books in the Chinese language. If one student is interested in learning this in a more systematic way, then you can recommend them some Chinese textbooks as HSK. Then in the future, these students can even up for HSK exams. Anyway, we're helping these students choose the best materials that suits them the most. Sincerity is very important. We are friends with students, and we make progress together with students, and we invite our to support your kids in this process all along. If stuck somewhere, we are always behind them. We parents are all behind them, helping our kids and letting our kids experience the joy of helping others. And what your children can gain outweigh what's there.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you for speaking. I'm sure that we all like to give you a big round of applause if we weren't over Zoom, but thank you for coming to speak. Thank you for taking the time out of the day for that explanation, and we really appreciate it. So next I'm going to move on.
接下来我想邀请谢老师来发言。谢老师传奇色彩的人物，他是有思公益的创始人，他也是与林相伴的管理人，这个项目的负责人。
谢谢 Summer 的主持，也谢谢我们中文的介绍，也谢谢我们项目组全体义工的力和付出。那这个与你相伴的项目从去年开始有这样构想，到今天正式启动，前后也历经了半年多的时间。那这背后呢，是我们项目组团队所有的。
不好意思，启动闭一下麦，传译员听不到。
今年的是5月2号，我们正式发布了与你相伴的义工小老师和与招募启事。在短短的1周内，就有250多名学生来参加，然后我们组建了13人的一个面试官的团队，对每一个报名者进行了面试初选，那么筛选出120人入围了我们的接下来的这个在2个多月的培训过程中呢，我们又经过了先后4次的小时的岗前的培训，每一次呢都有作业布置，然后根据
It's 4 sessions of training with pre-assigned homework. And we have followed up with the trial teaching and the quality of homework of these 100 people. Finally, 80 volunteers stood out. So I would like to congratulate all volunteers on these volunteer posts. I wish that all of us can cherish this opportunity and helping the adopted children, Chinese children in U.S. families to learn the Chinese. In the future, I wish that you will contribute to the people exchanges and friendship and even the cultural exchanges between the two countries. I also thank very much our team members and our volunteers for what you have been doing since its inception. All G projects are initiated by our volunteers, and doubtless to say it's one of the most complicated projects because it entails many aspects such as management, overall planning. Just say we had 13 jury members of interviews, and these 13 people also participate in the follow-up work such as instructing our volunteer teachers. And we also have 10 employees who are responsible for contacting those families. They are very serious in tracking each U.S. family. We are offering help. Of course, the managers, GYP, New Oriental, and Bilingual, also in our team, many seasoned Chinese teachers are also giving us some support. I would like also to especially thank the first manager of this bilingual project. She and some of her students are always passionate about this program. So I look very much to the greater participation of more parents. As I say, we are now having volunteer teachers. After a period of trial, we will launch bilingual programs in the second and third phase, but it depends on our capacity of human resources. If more U.S. families want to be included in, we call for more volunteers to join us, more excellent volunteers just as Summer. They can more support. Of course, we would appreciate you very much if there are some help from other walks of life, because this bilingual is a totally charge-free program, but it does entail a certain amount of cost. So I call for everyone to contribute anything that you can contribute, money, materials, or some ideas, so that we can promote better this program. And we hope to establish this program as a flagship project in the interest of China-US relationship. I also wish that all volunteer teachers can learn through this program via this opportunity while teaching us. Our children, on the one hand, can have public servant spirit, and on the other hand, can also make progress themselves, back up our parents, will be behind our children. For adopted families, parents can accompany their children in the learning of Chinese. So learning Chinese is no easy task, and it requires long-term efforts. All in all, just to cherish the opportunities of learning Chinese volunteer program. And if you have any questions or any difficulties, please contact our team who serves the US families in, and we also have teams for teaching instructions and for other purposes. So just to contact our teams according to your needs. With conservatives, our program can certainly be a huge success, and certainly be a success program. I also like to thank the simultaneous interpretation by Worldwise. Do you have any other questions that you want to raise now?
I want to have a question. Can I use or use English to ask?对，所以呢，我的问题就是，我们现在过去对的家庭呢，他们是一个华裔的人收养的，那个同学是收养的。
One of my students is adopted by a US family with Chinese ancestry, so the parents speak Chinese, and the parents are talking to the student in Chinese. Here are my questions. First, they are Chinese Americans. Second, so is there a need to teach them to learn this, or am I just sharing some Chinese cultural elements with them? Secondly, the economic background of this family. So do we need to consider economic background of this family?
是的，他是那个对，就是那一个王西冕。西冕，你和那个有在联系上的家人吗？就是其实我也去我们的那个。
So I contact with this family in the Heritage Language Learning WeChat group, but this family are not in the WeChat group as I see.
你们还有联系上吗？那一家？看看，现在好像还没有，还没有回啊。还没有回复。对，但是看情况感觉不像是适合教学的，而且呢。
Anyways, I see that the Chinese language teaching is not very suitable for of the background. After all, they can all speak Chinese.
他们有说到过，当时审查的时候是肯定不会放无关人员进来的，所以他们是符合要求的。
First of all, only families can join our heritage learning project. The children were held or adopted children. Of course, I understand the parents know Chinese, and they themselves can teach their children to speak Chinese. But, the teaching is also about culture, because there are shocks between China and the US. So I still think the family is eligible for our program. With regard to the economic affordability,
说他经济条件是足够的话，就没有必要参加这个课程，可以送他的。
So that's if the family can afford
就是中文教育的那种机构是吗？
a public institute of Chinese language teaching, they don't need to join our program. So I just think they can choose programs other than ours.
Sorry, I'm going to quickly interrupt you. I just would like to say to everybody who is Zoom meeting, I would just like to say that currently we're in a question and answer session, but before that, I would just like everybody, I manage a social media page, so I'd just like to tell everybody to please follow our Facebook and Instagram.
那我还是想让大家先来关注我们的 ins 和脸书账号的微信群。如果你有其他的后续问题，你可以后续通过这一群我们。
I'm so glad that you guys could make it, and please enjoy the rest of your evening, day, or whatever time.
我也非常高兴今天大家能够参与这次会议，但是今天我们会议时间有限，再次感谢大家的到来。我们后续还会继续为大家提供更多的答疑服务。
我们是不是还是要现在教这个同学，而且怎么教？他现在很好，只不过欠缺文化交流，我觉得就不应该像我们现在教法了吧。
是这样子，我们这个项目呢，服务于是被领养的中国孩子。那么这个孩子的家长有可能是华裔的，也有可能是美国人，都符合这个条件的。而且我们并不以他们的经济条件作为能否这个项目的一个条件，因为我们是
adopted families and we don't consider their economic background because any family who wishes to adopt a kid must have a heart of kindness and business. Some families are economically viable, but others are not. To provide sustainable help for these families.
他是被领养的中国孩子，他有中文的意愿。
As long as the adopted kid has the willingness, the Chinese, we will help them. If you want to keep in touch with this family, you can contact us. But this is an individual case, so we will not discuss it at this moment.
我一直在试那个家庭，但他一直都没有给我回复，已经发了2封邮件了，但没有给我回复。
好，这个
I sent 2 emails to one family, but I haven't any reply.
回复一下。那么在我们80多
Here's my answer.
有一部分家庭呢是只留下了电子邮件。那么还有一些家庭电子邮件也留了电话，还有一些家庭呢进入了我们的微信群，有些呢进入到我们的 Facebook 和 Instagram 的这个群。我们所有都是定向项目，不让家庭去招募的，所以不会出现混进来让家庭的人看到这个广告，因为我们没有去漫无目的的去发这个广告。那么在这个过程中呢，有一些家庭可能是没有办法联系到，它只有邮件信息的。如果我们发了邮件，它不回复，那我们就再试着能不能用另外的一个邮箱去回复，因为有些邮件呢会把有些这个邮箱会默认一部分邮件进入垃圾邮件，发给你们的录取通知书和之前的2次录取通知书很多垃圾邮件里找出来的，所以可以试着再用另外的父母的再发一次，如果然后发了一次之后呢，可以再提醒一次，如果各发了2次邮件，对方仍然不回复，又没有其他的联系方式，那你就反馈指导老师，我们调整看看能不能加入到现在的其他的团队，或者是我们再继续招募新的领养家庭。如果有其他的电话的联系方式，或者是其他的在这个我们的微信群，可能相对来讲会比较容易联系上。那么如果只有邮件地址的，可能会有一些会出现这种情况。在给你们的录取通知书里边已经提到了有这种情况可能会出现，所以你们也要做好相应的一个准备和应对。
Notification, so you need to be prepared for the situation. So if that means that you not contact those family, you will find new families who join the program. And you can talk with your instructor, and the instructor will talk to the program leaders, and then we will find new families.
老师您好，我想提个问题，我就想和您讲，就是我们是 一个小语伴或者一个向老师单独和一个家庭进行配对，还是说
So is this a
一般
one-on-one
的话是小老师和语伴一起进行准备，然后进
or
行教
a
学。
companion
小老师和语
when
伴一起进
student
行准备，一起做教学。
so
小语
the
伴的
teachers
作
and
用
the
是一个助
companions
教的，
together
所以是
so
以小老师为主，
the
由
companion
小老师来
assist
组
the
织这个
job
课堂，让语伴成
and
为
the
你的助
teacher
教。
organize the class
好
and
的，谢谢。
the
然后我想问一下，就是我
companion
们需要联系
the
到小语
teacher
伴吗？
so should we contact the
是
companion
你来回答一下这个问题。
我在。还有我想跟大家解释，我们的小语伴他们进入课堂的方式是以学生端的形式
Our
来，就好
companions
比你
enter the
面对
classroom
的
as
其实是2个
students
学生啊，那你的小
So
语伴呢就可以
there
比
are
如说
students in your
和你
class
的学
but
员进行
one
对
of
话呀，
them
或者
is a
是
companion
操练
the
游戏啊这样的一
companion
个
can
作
help the
用
teacher
啊。
with
那那个
practice
我的建议
part
呢，
for
你
example
可
the
以
companion
事
can
先和你的
practice
小语伴
the
联系一
Chinese
下，然后
with
你们
the
商量一
the
下课
student
堂上
so
你
you
们
can
怎么样
contact the
去协调，
companion
怎么样去
before the
分工。
class
然后呢，
you
就
can
是
how to proceed the class
在正式上课之前啊，你们可能在以后备课的时候还会有一些准备啊， 所以
So
我建议每个
you can
有
prepare
现在
together
哈已经分配有小语伴的小老师是可以事先
so
和
if
你的
you
小语
have a
伴进行联
companion
系的。
now you
OK，
can
如果你们
contact
没有小语伴
him
的
or
联系
her
方式，你问你
if
们
you
的
don't
那
have
个
the
指
contact
导老师，
information
好
you can
吗？
talk to your instructor
好，谢谢老师。
不用。
thank you
对，不是每一个都配备语伴的。
not every teacher has a companion
一般年纪学员稍微年龄大一点，我们就不配语伴了，就只有一个小老师的学生。如果学生小的话啊，我们呢
if the student is little
这个学生进行练习和这个给小老师一个帮手。
老师，那个语伴要不要给学生发邮件？
so does the companion need to send emails to the student are you a companion
那你知道你是配合哪一个小老师一起？
还不知道。
do you know which teacher are you assigned to
建议你的指导老师
my suggestion is that you should ask your instructor work together with the teacher then the teacher send the email if you don't have a teacher then you send the email
老师，那个问一下，就是我当时面试的应该是语伴，然后最后那个
I was as a companion
但是他让我给那个学生发那个邮
but
件。
my instructor asked me to send the email so I sent the email
就是我们这次
don't worry about that
人数的原因，可能以前你觉得自己应该是语伴，但是这次呢，把你作为小老师安排在这个学员家庭了。
because of many students so
教授他中文。那现在你是
we have determined that you are a teacher now
没有关系，你
have you know
你的工作是做到位了。
it's okay if you send the email
学员家庭他们这以后怎么回复你？
so just wait to see how they reply
谢老师说的，可能忽略了邮件没有看到啊，
because there may be cases that your emails may be ignored by them or be sent spam email so you can send the email maybe later on again see how they reply so now you are a teacher you are not a companion anymore 你几岁了 I'm 13
相信自己你是可以当小老师。
Believe in yourself, you are good enough to be a teacher.
好，看一看还有没有其他问题。的确，我们
Do you have any others?
时候呢，我们就是以往跟大家说，有的少年可能会成为小语伴，但是这一次呢，有安排作为了小老师，这就是我们匹配的对象比较。
So at the beginning, you may be a companion, but now you are a teacher, so there may be some problems in the process. But this is the first time we had to make the decision to change your role. So you don't have to worry about that. You're good enough to be a teacher. We've watched the videos by our teachers and the companions. I think they are very professional. So you don't worry about this. You are good enough to be a teacher. So if you have any during the teaching, you can talk to the teacher and we will make the adjustment. So I hope that you can relax and a new journey.
看看大家还有没有其他问题。
There are any other questions?
老师，我还想问一下，就是已经把那个邮件发给他了，然后我给他说的是我是他的语伴，那现在需要给他改一下吗？就是再重新发。
Send the email saying that I'm his or her companion. You don't have to worry about that because he or may not know the difference between companion or teacher. You don't have to.
好的，然后就是说，那我可能就如果就是曹老师的话，就是上课是这个意思吗？
对，你就需要使用那个中文的这个平台。
So you can just use Bilingo to teach the students.
中文的那个伙伴要入到我们的教学群，然后教大家怎么来下载。安排一下，还要有一次专门的，我看邹老师的建议是要有一次专门的会议来指导大家如何下载和使用。能相应的也肯定要把比邻中文的老师来拉到另外的收养家庭的微信群里。
对，谢老把那个就是严泽老师拉到那个 Heritage Language Learning 的微信群里。因为就是领养家庭，我看好像是他们主要一个汉语输入不太明，因为都是汉字嘛，不知道是哪个应该输入。方便的话，就是说我们有一个 quick 的那个 Zoom meeting， 或者是有 slides， 我们做出来就 step by step， 杠的翻译成那个英文那样，就是一步的，然后让他们装上去也行。就是我需要跟严老师那个，或者我和严老师工作一下，就是把那个屏幕截屏，然后做成那个 PDF file， 然后发到那个群里也可以。只要看李哲老师在不在，如果在的话，我可以和他一起弄一下。谢谢，
谢谢。好，还有什么问题吗？就是义工小老师和语伴，你们都有问题， 可以及时的和你们的指导老师来联系，指导老师会协调解决。
Any questions, please contact your instructor for prompt feedback. If they can't help you solve these problems or questions, they will to help you send your feedback to other handling persons.
我是魏魏，吴老师。是这样的，就是我这边的5个基本上应该都是16到18岁的，而且都基本都特棒。那现在就是我这边看我系统，我是看不到他们的搭档。
My team teachers are very proficient in teaching language capability.
在哪里知道？可以到时候看，我觉得可以提供一下。跟学生是这么回复的，我说，因为他们本身就是小老师嘛，所以我想的话，不管有没有
，as themselves.
因为小老师是整个你这个直接负责的嘛。
对，那个秦坤老师和 Tracy 哈，关于那个小老师和语伴的怎么匹配的这个信息，看来
About how to match teachers with partner.
通过我们的指导老师把这个信息传递下去，因为看来是。
And we need to provide more additional information on this. Sometimes the teachers and language partners just don't know each other.
大部分每一个领养家庭只配备1个，都算是小老师。然后如果要是
Every adopted family is matched with a mentor or a volunteer teacher. But if some families are rich,
转入到另外一些我们已经有联系的家庭里头，然后做一个小老师，或者是做一个那个，就是说跟另外一个做一个小那个语伴，或者是
we will help these families to match a new language partner or a new volunteer teacher.
因为我们大概还是就是说我们是优先是考虑这些已经。
Of course, we preference to adopted families that we touch with.
一般来说，那个现在做小语伴，现在做了那个当做那个呢，一般来说年龄也都是比较偏小一点的。所以如果你们找不到那个
，As we know, the volunteer teachers are young kids themselves. So if some young out of reach, then just find a new one.
谢谢春春老师，我听明白了。
我刚才打开表，对，我刚才打开表看了一下，现在目前既有小老师又有小语伴的匹配家庭，不多，只有3个。
对，我也注意到，好像没一家，对，多数都是没有。
That only 3 or 4 families haven't found language partner or volunteer teacher.
没有关系，反正分到了谁呢，你就跟家庭联系，作为主要的教学负责人就好了。
对，那个胡老师，另外谢老师把那个就是那个具体的那个匹配的情况，他用 email 送到我们每个人的那个就面试官和督导老师的那 email 那个里面了，所以他有
And the
那个
specific information about language partner has sent to relevant people via email, and the information is very out.
哪个是分得很细很好，非常唐老师和那个做了
那
非常
工作量
细的工作。
巨大，Tracy 老师这次
呀，
巨大的工作量，真的是。谢谢周老师，谢谢Tracy老师。
对，就是看到了，就是这几个家庭呢，基本上是我的老师，还有我和许慧老师的，所以我的那个小老师，我都发邮件告诉他语伴是谁
And
了。
I've sent emails to the families I'm tracking, telling them who their language partners are. I will also to invite others to do the same thing, sending emails to the families, enabling them the information they need to know, such as who are their language partners. And there might some further adjustment the next 1 to 2 weeks, and every family will be matched to which partner.
这一步就是 我们把比邻中文的老师们加到学群，然后指导大家下载。
And all bilingual teachers are invited into our WeChat, and they will be instructed on downloading the platform and on the specific usage. As long as the schedule is arranged, the teaching can start soon.
就是关键的问题是，那个收养家庭他们要回复我们的小老师和小语伴，这个落实了，然后商量好时间，完全就
But
是。
the key is that we need to contact beforehand each class between adopted families and teachers in China. So we have to take this first step.
是的，所以这里边也再说明一下，如果个别的家庭联想大家呢不要着急
Let me repeat, if a certain family is reached, just to try again. Through various channels, WeChat, phone numbers.
指导老师反馈也相应的这个调整我们可能会把你先分配到
Of course, give some feedback to us.
或者是我们在招募新的收养家庭，会需要一点时间。如果是招募新的
But all this work takes some time.
夏老师，我想知道就是如何知道我们的领养家庭在不在那个微信群里？
How can we know if the adoptees are in the WeChat group? Go to ask your instructor.
好的，好的，谢谢。
对，主要是你们不知道，我们让这些家庭加入微信群是多么艰事情。邹老师专门组建了一个义工团队，真的是一点都不夸张，手的教他们怎么使用微信。但是依然还有很多人没有进到这个微信群里，因为美国人是不用微信的，你们也知道的。所以他们即便入了群，可能也不是像我们那么经常查看这个微信群的信息。
对，美国的这些领养家庭进微信群，微信好像也是跟我们进去不太一样，它也麻烦一点。那个手续各方面的都多一点，要一个人来 confirm， 好像不是说自己就直接 install 以后就能直接进去，所以是整个过程就是比较麻烦。所以大家呢，第一看我们那个这些孩子有没有在我们的微信群已经有的在没在我们群里头微信群里头，这是第一个 check。第二个如果没有的话呢，就是那个邮箱是肯定是要发的，但邮箱的话很可能是那个没有回答的话呢，那个如果有电话，这是很好的那个 information。像今天的话，我给其中一个一打电话，马上他就通了。他好像还那个就是好像他们实际上是在 expect， 已经有期待了，那个的态度什么的都挺积极的，挺好的。所以呢，如果有电话的话，一个可以打电话，一个是 text message， 这个要好好用起来。然后对，邮箱是一个最比较被动的了，就是但是美国人用邮箱其实比
美国人其实很习惯用邮箱来沟通的，但是确实有些邮件它会自动的就会被列为邮件，所以你们要再多尝试不同的邮箱来发这个邮件，爸爸妈妈的邮箱都用上，多发
尤其是从中国来的邮件，它有的时候就会自动的，它就给个放到那个垃圾的那个，或者他觉得是比较有一些可认为是广告，或者是一些那个 spam， 他就直接给你发到那个 junk mail folder 里了。所以就是这个问题确实很麻烦。如果你1个星期或2个星期之后反应，赶快就和那个督导老师说，然后我们可以想办法去查。然后实在联系不上，我们那个吹西和那个和那钱老师可以那个重新给你那个分配，重新把这个小老师给你分配，或者新的学生，或者是 到七五去一起，因为我们现在几乎就像刚才那个钱老师说，我们只有3、4组的人才有那个就是 conversation partner， 这样的我们可以把你就是重新分配一下，就是谢谢大家的那个 patience， 确实美国家庭联系很不容易呀，谢谢大家。
邹老师是非深有体会的，因为这个工作是邹老师组了一个10几个人 outreach 的一个 team 在做这项工作，所以最终能有80多其中有1多半都是他们一个一个沟通来的。
如果你们方便的话，一旦联系上了，最好就把电话问来，就是即使因为是电话，你在中国不方便联系，你也可以把这电话给你的老师，就是那个督导老师或者指导老师，然后这样的我们就在那个 database 上就有这个家庭的电话，然后我们那个就是 outreach team 都是那个在和加拿大的那个各位老师，然后我们就直接可以和他们那个联系方便。我们主要是有40几个家庭没有他们在美国和加拿大的电话，一开始做的时候我们也没有经验，所以也没有问那个，后来我们就在这个做的过程当中不断学习不断提高，然后就有了他们就很方便了，几乎是有电话的家庭我们都联系上了，就是几个家庭没有电话就是要用 email， 但是一旦联系上了，你们把电话问来，然后可以反馈给我们这个老师，然后我们就可以去和他们继续联系。谢谢。
我现在只有37个人了，怎么还有的学生还没开完会就退了？
对，很多问题的就退了啊。有问题的大家还可以，这个机会也挺难得的哈，大家我们再留一点时间可以提问。
Tracy 老师，我刚才看了一下，我刚才看了一下我的那个群里，我的那批孩子有的是年龄比较小的。那您刚
是有以及家长们的支持，也谢谢所有的领养家庭啊，期待着大家我们一起努力把这个项目顺利定和实施下去。后续有什么问题，大家通过各种微信群，通过跟你的通过 outreach team， 然后跟我们来项目组取得联系。谢谢大家，拜拜。